A high school student in Massachusetts was speaking about the bullying problem that she's experiencing at the school. This was at a school board meeting though. But during her explanation, she was verbally attacked, interrupted by a parent that was off in, I guess, in the audience crowd somewhere. Now, she's a senior at the high school. Her name is Mackenzie Atwood, and she was talking specifically about the problem with how there's protected classes in the school: race, gender identity, sexual orientation. And as she was talking about how maybe some of those groups aren't getting the protection that they had said that they are giving to students, she was interrupted. But first, let's let her speak about what was happening at the school. Let's listen.
I think what should be known is that at the high school level, we have meetings at the beginning of every school year outlining what protected classes are in the school. What is not clear about school environment is that though everyone is said to be protected, that is not followed through. So kids every single day, and being in theater, there's obviously that stereotype that everyone in theater is gay. And yeah, you can say that it's pretty true because a lot of us are gay and it's somewhere where we can be comfortable. And that's a safe space. But when kids are coming to theater every single day telling me, oh, I got called a in the hall today, or I got called a racial slur in the hall today, that's not something to, joke about, though it's become something that we're so numb to that it becomes a joke.
So if you heard the first part there, she's speaking out for people who have become accustomed to being called slurs and it's become a joke. And she's like, I remember we talked at the beginning of the year about how there's protected classes, but we're not protecting everyone. Now she went on, a parent in the audience decided to interrupt her. Let's listen to that second part.
So I think it's important to understand that yes, everyone is protected at the school, but being someone who is Caucasian is not something that you're getting bullied about.
No. Keep going, please.
Being homosexual, which, may I say, I am gay. Call me what you want about that. I am being personally attacked in school about this.
I'm asking you to refrain.
Extremely disgusting that you can look me in the eyes and say that I am not being oppressed at the school.
Sit down. You will be asked to leave. Please sit down.
It has to stop. This is the indoctrination.
We are going to ask for a slight
There's no such thing as a gay agenda. There is no such thing as a
As it looked like she was going into saying black agenda or the rest of these agendas that these types of folks are worried are taking over our schools and our society because people exist. So as there was a couple blanks there in the audio, it's every time the woman in the audience was yelling, interrupting and screaming because I believe the school board was trying to keep her from getting her comments out there out of turn. But part of it was also, this is the indoctrination, she screamed at this teenager who's talking about how people that she's friends with and experiences things with are being bullied despite the school's policy on keeping these types of things down. And that built up a rage and a fire in her gut to jump up and scream that this is the agenda. The agenda to then do what? What then happens to people if the school decides to protect students that are being called names, that are being bullied, that are probably potentially being physically assaulted? It could get to that point. What's the downside again? What happens to people?
Well, look, this is time to keep it real. So first of all, I just want to clarify, the person pounding the gavel is the good guy. She's trying to get the parent to stop yelling at the gay student. The parent is the one that's standing up, obviously not her parent, but someone else's parent, saying, you're trying to do indoctrination. Well, indoctrination of what, right? Like, so she's gay. She's just stating who she is, and that offends that person so much. She's telling her, stop telling people that you even exist, because you stating who you are is indoctrination. Like if my kids hear that you're gay, they might apparently magically become gay. First of all, you should look into that, right? As a parent, you should figure out if your kids, what they are, right? And if you think that, I mean, look, I'm not gonna entertain their insane ideas about how it's a choice. I'm gonna get back to her ideology in a second, okay? But guys, I don't know how we get along. So you fill in the blank for whatever you are, right? So JR is black, I'm Muslim, Ida's black, Latino, Latina, I should say, et cetera, right? And so if they say to me, if I say, hey, look, they're discriminating against me, and in whatever context, because I'm Muslim, I was born Muslim, I'm atheist now, but because of that background, they call me these names. And somebody yells at me, stop your indoctrination. How could I stop? Okay, and by the way, in my case, it's even more true because I stopped being Muslim, I'm atheist, but it doesn't matter. And by the way, if you don't know that, that's how racists work. Right wing attacks me for being Muslim all the time. All the time. It doesn't even matter that I'm not in the religion anymore because they're not doing it based on ideology or thoughts or principles. They're doing it based on outward appearances, right? And things that don't matter like skin color and background, etc. So what is that? Let's be honest about it. So when you say, don't be what you are, because that's indoctrination, you're saying, I hate you. So, and if you're teaching hatred, I don't care if you're gonna cry about it. Oh no, that's my religious beliefs. My religious beliefs say that I should hate you and I should teach my kids to hate you and I should try to get the whole community to hate you and we should all hate you so much that we don't even allow you to say who you are. Well, no, I say no, I'm gonna fight back against you. I think you're a hateful person if you're against gay people in America. If you think they shouldn't say who they are, if they shouldn't proudly declare who they are and say, I don't want to tolerate your hatred. So if that's what we're gonna fight about ideologically, I'm very ready for that fight. The people on the other side are not good people. They're not good people. They're terrible, evil people. Evil. Because religious fundamentalists call us evil all the time, and we didn't even do anything. We just are who we are. And they call us evil for insane things that we didn't even do. Okay, well, if you're gonna put that hatred into the world and you're gonna try to bully that poor girl, you're evil. That parent is a terrible, terrible, immoral person teaching everyone in her community, including her kids. I don't know if it sounded like it was female, dad or mom, whatever it is, that parent is the one spreading poison in the community with their hatred. That's who you are. If you're a right winger who hates gay people under the guise of religion, oh my God told me to hate you. I don't give a damn who told you to hate gay people. We're gonna fight back. In this country, the right wing has dominated for so long and made it seem like the rest of us should be happy to even be here, that they've allowed us to exist. Hey, we haven't even murdered you yet, and here you are. But shut up and know your role. No, we're citizens. We're 100% American citizens, just like you are. If you don't like it, and you don't like that we're not a theocracy, that we're not like Saudi Arabia and we live under your oppressive religious rule, your fundamentalist rule, and you don't like the fact that it's a democracy, you don't like America, you don't like our Constitution, you don't like equality, you don't like justice, that's on you, because you're an un-American scumbag. That's what the hell you are. All right, I think I'm very clear on it, Ida.
Oh, dang, go off, Cenk, go off. Listen, I was raised by a man who was killed by homophobes. He was beat to death in Miami in 2013, not 1945, 2013. Beat, kicked, stumped to death, kicked over and over in the head until his brain bled until he died by homophobes, and nothing happened to those people. I will say that the person yelling out, this is the indoctrination, has already been indoctrinated. They've been watching all this propaganda. There's a severe, serious problem in this country with a lack of education, people getting their information at the gas station, being informed by people who are making a lot of money on their ignorance, and it continues and it's getting deeper and it's getting, people in this country who call themselves religious, let me just remind you of one thing. Somebody who comes from the church, your job, God gotta be tired of y'all, because y'all keep speaking up for God like y'all are God, and that is the opposite of what you're supposed to do when you're an alleged God lover, Christian, or whatever faith you call yourself belonging to, is not to become God, but you're supposed to be a servant. You're supposed to walk in a way that's worthy of the calling, right? That's what they say in church. You're supposed to behave in such a way that's so accepting and so loving, because you're supposed to behave the way Jesus behaved. And this behavior that you are implementing has nothing to do with God and everything to do with your fear of who you really are and the fear of other people participating in the privileges that you have had for a very long time. I don't know one man or woman who is secure in their sexuality that gives a damn about somebody being referred to by their pronouns. They don't care about what they do at night. And it just seems to me that the people who are always yelling this stuff out are dealing with some issues within themselves, which is why it becomes, you're like, dude, like I do not sit around worried about somebody turning my kids gay. Like it's never been a fear or even a thought of mine. But how sad for those people's children who may be battling with their sexuality. And if you look at the suicide rate amongst these children, that goes down to kids that are like 9 years old. It is really a big problem, not just in this country, but everywhere, where we keep spewing this hatred towards people. And let's just act, this whole indoctrination, this whole agenda, we read about Caesar in history who was having orgies with men, and we try to act like this is a new thing. It's been here since the beginning of time, since the beginning of man, and now we want to act like, oh my gosh, the gays are really coming for us, the trans people, like they're really coming for us, and they've been here since forever. I just think that while you're worrying about what gay people are doing or what gay or trans people or queer people are referring to themselves as, the education system is poor. You can't get a loan. The average kid doesn't know whether they're coming or going because they're not learning geography in school. We are struggling in this country in terms of healthcare, and y'all sitting around here worrying about who is loving who. And that is just such an indicator of why they continue to keep us down, because we just don't, we have lost. I mean, that sounds crazy. That doesn't sound like somebody who's speaking from a place of reason. That sounds like a person who's been brainwashed and is now yelling out these talking points that they are regurgitating that they heard on places like Fox News, or being ill-informed through their pastors or the clergy in their religious houses. And it's so sad because people we are in the upside down. I don't know what to say.
I want you to think about the anger we've got here, Cenk, really fast. So Cenk just got really upset. The lady at the school meeting got upset. The girl there, I think she was a senior in high school there, she got upset. Everyone's upset about this, but let's think about the reasons and root behind it. The girl said, I've got students and friends and fellow theater folks that are talking about being called slurs in the hallways at the school, and I would like for them to be protected. Sounds like something that would be something you would respect. Someone wants to protect other people that are potentially being attacked, that are being attacked verbally. Cenk is upset because he wants to protect the folks that are being attacked like this, that then lead to murderous intentions like what happened with your family, Ida. And that should spark a level of anger in people. I don't want people getting killed for who they are. Whether or not you believe it or not, you don't have to believe whether or not someone is really gay, or whether or not gayness really exists, or whether or not someone who says they're trans isn't trans or not. Why does that matter to you? We talked about it before when we talking about comedians. Why does that matter to you to that extent? So everybody's upset. We talk about your reason to be upset. We talk about Ida's reason to be upset. We know why this high school senior is upset. Why is that mother upset that's screaming at her? Who's dying? Who's being disenfranchised? Who's being bullied? Who's being pushed to suicide in her life because folks from the LGBTQ community exist? These are the lines that are drawn. We're looking to protect people's lives. You're looking to protect your thoughts by getting
No.
that angry at someone else.
Jared, it's a slightly worse thing. You're just looking to protect your hatred. And we should have no tolerance for it. So let me be super clear. Right wing in this country has gaslit the rest of us forever and ever. So when they say racist things and we say, hey, could you please not be racist against me as a person, right? They go, oh my God, you've hurt my feelings. My poor, poor feelings. I can't believe I got called racist, right? Okay, I don't care. How about when you hurt our feelings? Oh, you guys don't count. Who cares? You're gay and you're getting called slurs in the hallways? Good. Shut up, they say. Well, how about her feelings? You don't care about that student at all. But if we call you a homophobe, all of a sudden you're like, oh my, how dare you? No. I'm done with the gaslighting. Totally and utterly done with it. Don't ever do anything physical, but don't ever let them shout you down. You want to get loud? I guarantee you I can get louder. I guarantee it. So when you see racism, when you see bigotry, don't do it willy-nilly, okay? This is a super clear case. When you got a super clear case like this, racism, bigotry, homophobia, no, you shout her down and you tell her, we're not gonna accept your hatred here. You're a terrible, immoral person and we're not gonna stand for it. And if you wanna cry about it, great. I'm thrilled that you're crying because you might think twice before you try to inflict psychological damage on the rest of us. Okay, you're the bad person and we're not gonna tolerate it anymore. And I don't care at all about your feelings. You've never cared about ours.
The funny thing is the fascination with that. According to the Bible and all of the books of God, there are other sins, right? There are other sins. Nobody focuses on the other sins. Why so much focus on this unless it's just a Freudian slip? Because why do you care so much? Are you going around telling people you shouldn't be cheating on your wife? You shouldn't be cheating on your husband. You shouldn't be lying on your taxes. You shouldn't be stealing from people. Why are you so fascinated with this? This is this alleged sin. Why are you so focused with this? And that is what really fascinates me. Why do you care so much?
Thanks for watching The Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.